Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome here to the next Airbus Singapore Airlines joint announcement here at the Singapore Air Show 2014. I am very pleased to welcome with you Mr. Goh Choon Phong, CEO of Singapore Airlines, and Fabrice Breguet, Airbus President and CEO. You have heard yesterday at our global market forecast that the region expects some 11,000 more aircraft here over the next 20 years, including 4,100 wide bodies. That the region shows growth rates of 5.8% per year. This is above average, which translates not only into a doubling every 15 years, but every 10 years. And of course, this offers tremendous opportunities to partner up, and Mr. Goh and Mr. Breguet would like to explain one of these partnerships now to you. Fabrice, over to you.
Thank you, Stefan. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a great pleasure after our press conference yesterday, perhaps, to be here with my friends of Singapore Airlines. Yesterday I said that we are not just selling aircraft here in Singapore, but we were also partnering. And I'm very pleased to announce a big partnership around training facilities. We have jointly decided to set up a joint venture. The name will be Airbus Asia Training Center, AATC, and it will be owned 55% Airbus, 45% Singapore Airlines, and it will be located at the Seletar Aerospace Park. So this one is I think a new strategy for Airbus regarding training. We have decided to open on our own brand new training centers. We have a new strategy, and clearly we don't want to do it alone. We want to develop partnerships around the world under the brand Training by Airbus. And what is the best place to do it for Asia than Singapore? Having in mind that Singapore Airlines is our best Asian customer for the A380, our best Asian customer for the A350, a strong customer for the A330. Very naturally, we came to the conclusion that we had a lot of common interest to grow together for the training, not only for Singapore Airlines, but also for a lot of Asian customers of Airbus. So these new centers will extend what we have in Toulouse, Miami, and Beijing. And I'm sure that they will be very successful as the demand is especially strong. You have seen the numbers presented by John Lee yesterday, the growth from this part of the world. Each time I'm asked, but is there a bubble? And the answer is clearly no, because the prospects year after year are even greater and bigger. So we see the region's fleet more than double to over 11,000 aircraft in the next 20 years. So today's announcement marks a new milestone in our very long relationship with Singapore Airlines, which dates back 1979. You were not born, Choon Phong.
Oh, I look that young, yeah?
You look that young, and with my flu, I look older. So, because you placed your first order of 300 B4, and since that time, we can say that both our companies have grown considerably in stature, and we have worked together on a number of landmark projects. And I don't forget that you were patient enough to remain the launch customer of the A380. And I remember the delivery of this first aircraft, which was painful, but you supported us without complaining and making it work very efficiently. And now it's a fantastic aircraft, but 6 years ago it was much more difficult. So thank you very much for all your support. And you are also a very, very strong partner for Airbus. So now it's time for me to hand over to you and to look at this great partnership in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Fabrice. Partnership takes two people to come together. And I think indeed Airbus and Singapore Airlines is a great partnership all through the years, and there are much more to come for us to work together. A very good afternoon to our friends from media, and I would like to also acknowledge the presence of Mr. Liu Yip. He's the chairman for EDB. Thank you for taking time off to join us. Fabrice have given the outline of what the joint venture is all about. We are very excited about it, and you would have by now gotten the press release with some details in it, so I will not go through the details. Perhaps it's useful for me to highlight the significance of this joint venture from three perspectives. The first perspective is from the perspective of the industry, as Fabrice have outlined, and all of us are aware of the projection for air travel going into the decades and beyond. And with that growth in air travel demand, of course, we will see a lot of aircraft to be delivered and therefore need for more and more pilots, trained pilots, quality pilots. So this joint venture is formed at the ideal stage and is in ideal positions to provide and fulfill some of these requirements in the industry. So it is good for the industry. Secondly, from a perspective of Singapore, Singapore, of course, has been a well-known air hub, and this center being based in Singapore will add on, obviously, to the status, to add on and strengthen the status of Singapore as an air hub. So this center is not just about training, it's not just about the conversion and recurrent training, it's also going to be a center of excellence that we're going to have with Airbus that will look into also research and development in training methodologies as well as training technology. So you contribute to knowledge building of the field. So that's exciting, and certainly it's going to benefit Singapore as a status for the air hub as well. Thirdly, from a perspective of Singapore Airlines, we are, as I said, very excited about this venture. It is actually a new line of business for Singapore Airlines. We're excited to actually get into this venture because you actually add on to, of course, our portfolio of companies. And it's doing something that we've been known to do very well in, which is training our pilots. And it is done together with Airbus, which of course, it's with its deep knowledge in technical as well as technology of the aircraft. So this is really a venture that is possible only because we have Airbus as a partner, and we very much appreciate that. It is, from our perspective, a truly win-win combination, and we look forward to a long and successful expansion of this business. Thank you very much.
And now we have a photo opportunity, the signature of the documents. And now some Q&A. Questions in the room to our colleague from CNBC?
Thank you. A question for Mr. Goh, please. It's an industry-specific question. Do you believe that fuel price volatility will continue to present a problem for the industry, and how are you managing costs and smoothing out the fluctuations in the international jet fuel price?
Yeah. Yes, we do believe that fuel price will continue to be volatile, although it appeared in the last couple of years to be range-bound between 120, 110 to 130, thereabout. As you are well aware, we have a fuel hedging policy, and that is the mechanics by which we manage the volatility of the fuel price.
Next question in the room, please.
Colin Baker, Asian Aviation. I just wondered what breakdown or what percentage would be third-party business for this new venture?
Well, it's probably premature to answer, but our goal is clearly to attract as many Asian customers of Airbus as possible. I think it will be an incredible level of efficiency, proficiency here with both the airlines and Airbus, with the brand of Airbus training, and we will attract many customers. So the question mark for me is not this percentage, is whether in the coming years we'll have to invest jointly in more simulators here in Singapore.
Next question.
Hi, Karen from the Straits Times. A question for Mr. Goh. You've got your own SIA training center, and this is a new facility that will be set up at Seletar. So I'm just wondering, are you planning for the two to be run independently, or will there be sharing of resources and all that?
So I believe it was, something was mentioned in a press release. So the first premise that will be holding this training center would actually be at STC, our own training premise, and using the simulators that we have. Eventually, we do expect the business to grow rapidly, and Seletar would be the location where we will be able to expand further.
So when is the plan to move to Seletar?
Well, we will have to work on that, but because even before that, we'll have to get through the various regulatory approvals, and we hope to be able to get that done and to start operating first at STC by end of the year.
So how much of your current capacity at your existing center will be set aside for this new joint venture?
I think we'll start with whatever we have now. We'll be adding some other simulators as well. The details will obviously be announced at the appropriate time.
Another question in the room? If there's no more question, I close this press conference. Thank you, Mr. Goh. Thank you, Fabrice. And we have the next announcement at 1700 at the Seletar Aerospace Park. It's about the inauguration of a new spare part distribution center with our partner Sater. And buses are leaving at 1600 from the main entrance marked Airbus Sater. And the buses will then be there for this event and later on go downtown to the Mandarin Hotel. Thank you for being here and thank you for being with Airbus.